Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, I heard of this thing called Tulpamancy, and I really want to give it a shot. But I don't know where to start. Relax, my inexperienced soon-to-be tulpamancer friend, because today's video is all about the best tulpamancy tips for beginners. Number 1. Make sure you're ready. You may have heard of this practice and seen all the joy and wonder it can bring to someone's life, but tulpamancy is a serious commitment. Keep in mind that you are starting a process that will create a living, self-aware being that could potentially stick with you for the rest of your life. Stopping this process midway through because you're bored or because this isn't what you were expecting is essentially killing this being off. Not only that, but you must be prepared on the neurological and mental side of this as well. Do not begin this process if you are struggling with disorders like depression or schizophrenia, as these disorders will most likely be superimposed onto the tulpa as well. So, to recap, make sure you are ready for this long-term commitment, and make sure you're mentally stable enough to handle it. Got that? Great. You're gonna do just fine. Number 2. Tackling self-doubt and intrusive thinking. Quick, don't think about cats. Chances are, you probably just thought about cats against your will. This is sort of what intrusive thoughts are like. They spark out of nowhere and linger in your mind, making you question your plurality. These intrusive thoughts can be harmful to the creation process as well, and it can make your tulpa feel uncomfortable. So to tackle intrusive thoughts, you have to get good at deflecting them away before they have the ability to linger for too long. I'll show you my strategy for dealing with it. We could even make it a game. Whenever I say don't think about blank, I want you to repeat a word or a phrase in your head over and over again until it redirects your thinking to said phrase. Try the word octopus because who can think of anything else whenever you see these squirmy little fellas in your head? Alright, 3, 2, 1. Don't think about dogs. Don't think about pineapples. Don't think about your short meaningless existence in a much broader universe filled with known and unknown threats that could easily end all of humanity before you can even blink an eye. So how'd you do? That's wonderful, my quick-witted friend. You've now obtained the ability to, literally, think fast. Don't think about turtles. Haha, I gotcha, didn't I? Number 3. This one's probably the most important to keep in mind. Just like everything else in psychology, there is no one-size-fits-all. What works for some may not work for others. Some people can sit cross-legged in the dark for hours, humming and chanting to create a tulpa, while others prefer a different approach, and that's perfectly fine. You do whatever works best for you. If one guide doesn't help, move on to the next until you find a method that gives promising results. Number 4. Starting out. When you first start the tulpamancy process, you should try creating a base for your tulpa to mold into. Try writing down some physical, mental, and social traits they may have. Now, it's important that whenever you answer questions, try keeping these traits in mind. You should ask yourself, given these personality traits, how would they answer the question? This way, you can practice rewiring your brain to think the way they do, essentially carving out a section of your brain for them to inhabit. Just less gruesome, in a metaphorical sense. Number 5. They will deviate. Now, despite the space you've just created, a tulpa will, sooner or later, begin to deviate. They may change their appearance or even their personality over time. This is completely normal and it should be encouraged. So don't get too attached to this space. Think of it as a caterpillar on its way to metamorphosize into something beautiful. Number 6. Keep log. It's important to keep a log of your conversations, questions, and answers when developing a tulpa. You can keep a log by writing it down on paper or typing it into some sort of device. Not only can this log help track the development of the tulpa, but it can also help you come up with more questions to branch off from in your next conversation. Number 7. Activities you should try. Tulpamancy, as previously stated, doesn't always have to be about meditating and having conversations with your tulpa. You should try gifting it with fresh new experiences for it to react to. Here are some things you could try out with your tulpa. Listen to music, cooking and food tasting, play turn-based games like tic-tac-toe or checkers, and of course, many more. Remember that when trying these experiences, Be sure to ask them their opinions on it, such as which foods they like or dislike, what music they like, what games they like, what type of strategy they use to win, so on and so forth. Well, my educated, determined friend, your time has come to join the Tulpamancy community. Make sure you let us know all about every step of the way in the Tulpamancy subreddit. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and remember, don't think about cats.